If you are over 60 and struggling with sciatica or nerve pain, stop relying on leg stretches. They're a temporary fix and don't provide any lasting relief. In this video, I'll reveal the real cause of sciatica, which most of my patients get wrong, and show you the only 3 exercises you need to relieve that sharp, burning, or nerve-like pain in your back or legs. At the end of the video, I'll also reveal 3 common mistakes that are likely making your sciatica pain worse and show you how you can avoid them. Now first, you need to know what is causing that sciatica and where it actually comes from. Otherwise, you'll waste time with stretches that really don't improve a thing. Now, many people think sciatica is just a leg problem because that's where the pain and symptoms are felt. But the real issue often lies in your lower back. Let me show you the science behind sciatica so we can address the root cause and work toward a long-lasting relief. The sciatic nerve, the longest nerve in your body, starts in your lower back, aka the lumbar spine. It runs down the back of your thighs and all the way down into your feet. When this nerve gets compressed or pinched in the lower regions of the spine, typically around L4, L5, or L5-S1 vertebrae, it disrupts the flow of signals down to the feet. This is why you feel pain, numbness, or even burning in your legs. Think of your sciatic nerve as a garden hose. When you have sciatica, it's as if someone is stepping on that hose. To get the water flowing smoothly again, we don't just treat the area downstream where the water is blocked. We need to remove that foot pressing down on the hose. This is why treating your lumbar spine, not just the leg symptoms, is key to relieving sciatica. Now the main question becomes, what causes this pinch in the first place? Well, there are 2 main causes of sciatica which tend to affect different age groups. For people between 30 and 50 years of age, the primary cause is often disc herniations. The good news is that disc herniations are actually quite rare, especially if you're over 60. Now, if you are over 60, sciatica is more likely due to age-related changes in your spine, such as spinal stenosis, degenerative discs, or osteoarthritis. These changes are often as natural as wrinkles or gray hair, a normal part of aging that doesn't always cause pain. However, in certain cases, these conditions can gradually worsen, narrowing the space where the sciatic nerve exits the spine, leading to pain in one or both legs, sometimes accompanied by back pain as well. So now that you understand the root cause of sciatica in people over 60, let's jump into the first exercise that will specifically target the lumbar spine to alleviate pressure and give you immediate relief. Start by lying down on a comfortable surface with a pillow under your head. Place your feet on a chair, couch edge, or a stool. From here, adjust until your knees are above your stomach area, forming the letter Z with your body. Next, relax your spine, allowing your lower back to flatten naturally, while also allowing your feet to get heavy and relaxed on top of wherever you are. You might start feeling relief almost immediately, but you can stay in this position for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 20 minutes, adjusting as needed for comfort. Now this is optional, but you can also place a heat pack over your lower back for extra relief. The reason why I love this position is because it's effective for both disc-related sciatica and degenerative spine conditions. But for those over 60, it has the added benefit of improving lower leg swelling and circulation as your feet are above your heart level, especially if you add that with moving your ankles up and down. I recommend using this position whenever your sciatica pain flares up, even multiple times a day, as it quickly alleviates pressure on your nerves and spinal cord. Now that you have a go-to position for quick relief, let's move on to our second exercise, which will help create more space in your lumbar spine joints and further relieve pressure on that nerve. Now, a quick word of caution: if you have new numbness in your groin, are unable to pee when you want to pee, or are experiencing other weird changes in your bowel or bladder, please go to your nearest emergency department, as this may be a sign of cauda equina syndrome, or a complete nerve compression. Although this is rare, it can be very serious. Okay, let's move on. Exercise number 2 comes from a fantastic clinical guideline for managing back and sciatic pain. The guideline suggests that for people with sciatica from degenerative spine conditions, the key is to perform repeated lumbar flexions, or simply put, bending forward movements. As you can see, bending forward opens up the spaces in your lower back where nerves pass through. So for exercise number 2, we'll start in a seated position. So start by sitting on a chair with your feet positioned slightly wider than your shoulder width. Move forward just a bit and place your hands on your knees or thighs wherever they naturally land. From this position, slowly slide your hands down your legs as you bend forward through your lower back and hips. Go as far as you comfortably can, and once you've reached the bottom, hold the position for 5 seconds as you take one deep breath in and out. Then gently come back up, sliding your hands back up and repeating this 10 times. The key when you bend forward is to allow your back and neck to fully relax. With each repetition, aim to go a little bit further. After performing the stretch, your sciatic or leg pain should slowly relieve or move up the leg. This is called centralization, and it's the key to finding quick relief. If your leg pain worsens, stop this exercise as it might not be suitable for you. But if it helps, you'll notice quick relief in your leg pain, and if so, I suggest doing this 10 times, holding for 5 seconds a few times during the day. For people with spinal stenosis who experience nerve pain or tingling in their legs with walking, this stretch is crucial. I suggest doing it before, during, or after your walks. Now, if you have extra mobility and want to stretch further, here are other lumbar flexion movements you can try. One option is called knees to chest, where you lie on your back, lift your knees to your chest, and use your hands to hold them there, holding for roughly 20 seconds, repeating 3 times. If you have more flexibility to work with, you can try the child's pose, also known as prayer pose, starting on your hands and knees, then gently bringing your back towards your heels, feeling a nice stretch in your lower back. From here, keeping your head down, relax your neck, and let your upper and mid back release the tension. Extend your arms forward a bit more as you bring your hips closer to your heels. Again, holding this position for 20 to 30 seconds, repeating 3 times. So now that we've opened up the space in our lower back with the first 2 exercises, let's move on to strengthening. This next exercise will improve the stability of your lumbar spine, maintaining the space that we've just created. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor or on your bed. Place your hands on your thighs. From here, engage your abdominal muscles by pulling your belly button down towards the ground. Imagine the muscles of the core getting slightly tighter while your low back gets flatter against the bed. If you have back pain, this slight movement of a pelvic tilt can give you relief. From here, inhale deeply, and as you exhale, lift your shoulder blades off the ground. Focus on using your abdominal muscles to curl up rather than pulling with your neck or chest. Only go as high as you can, holding for a moment at the top, then slowly lowering back down as you inhale. Repeating for 2 sets of 15 repetitions. If you have neck pain, you can place your hands lightly behind your head for slight support. But again, do not pull with your neck. Ensure the movement is mostly coming from your core. But for an easier version, you can perform a partial crunch, lifting just your head and shoulders slightly off the ground, maybe an inch or 2, but you should still be able to feel this in your core. So now that you know these great exercises, let's talk about what not to do. Even with the best intentions, you might be unknowingly aggravating your sciatica. So in this next section, I'll reveal 3 common mistakes that you should avoid. Now, all 3 mistakes relate to a key concept we discussed earlier. For people over 60 with sciatica, bending the trunk forward, lumbar flexion, often provides relief. Keeping this in mind, let's explore what to avoid. Mistake number 1 is trying to maintain perfect posture. Now, contrary to popular belief, standing up straight with an arched back can actually worsen sciatica in older adults. Why? Because this movement is the opposite of lumbar flexion and brings those joints closer, narrowing the space within the spinal joints, potentially irritating that sciatic nerve. Instead of the common stand up straight advice, guidelines recommend relaxing your lower back and posture. Now, don't hunch completely, but avoid forcing an upright position for long periods of time. Another tip is when you're watching TV, opt for a recliner rather than sitting on a straight-backed chair. Mistake number 2 is overdoing it with walking. While walking isn't inherently bad, and we do suggest it in many cases, extended periods can irritate the sciatic nerve at the lumbar spine because walking is actually an extension-based activity. If you do enjoy walking, take regular breaks to sit and stretch, especially using exercise number 2 we discussed earlier. Or you can opt to use a stationary bike or a pedal exercise on the couch to work on your cardiovascular health instead of walking. Now, if walking just 5 to 10 minutes is causing you sciatic pain, this leads us to our third common mistake, which is avoiding mobility aids. Now, I've seen many patients in their 60s, 70s, and 80s resist using support for walking, including canes or walkers. But here's the thing, these aids can actually help relieve pressure on your lower back and nerves, especially if you're dealing with sciatica from degenerative spine conditions. Now, if you have balance issues, consider using a walker, particularly a rollator or a 4-wheel walker with a seat, so you can take breaks and perform your sitting stretch as needed. Another thing I commonly suggest is using a cart while grocery shopping to support your body and back. So now that you have learned how to relieve the nerve pain in your legs, you might still have aching and stiffness in your joints. Head over to this video where I'll show you the only 5 exercises you need to tackle knee pain. These exercises are perfect for people over 50. I'll see you there.